pumpkin bread. And first I want to say thanks to everybody who took the poll on the community page, letting me know what kind of recipes you guys are looking for the holidays. And this is a great one. This is a blue ribbon recipe. It won a blue ribbon, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So anyway, this is going to be a really good hearty bread. You can add extra things to it, and I'll tell you about that along the way. And you'll just want to add it to all the other breads you make during the holidays. This is also a great gift idea. If you want to put all the ingredients into a jar and give it as gifts, even better. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 1.5 cups of sugar. I'm using organic pure cane sugar. But you could use the bleach white sugar if that's all you have. And this is a lot of sugar. You could also cut back on the sugar if you needed to. I just wouldn't do dramatics because obviously, you know, baking's a science and it would certainly interfere with the recipe. And then we're going to cream our sugar and butter together. So let's move over to the mixer. Half a stick of butter. It's been softened. I softened mine in the microwave, but you could just set it out. I'm using real butter, not margarine. And let's get this cream together. Okay, now we're going to add all of our spices. So we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and I'm just going to eyeball it, but you don't want to put too much cloves because clove is a very strong spice, and if you put too much it's going to overpower all the flavors. So about 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. We're going to add a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And that has cinnamon, all kinds of cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice. It's got all that in there. That's what makes the pumpkin spice. So that should take care of your spices. We're going to need to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use kosher salt, but you use what you have. Table salt, that's fine. We're going to need let's see, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and we're going to need a teaspoon of baking soda. Okay. All right, we're going to mix this together. And that's the base of your bread. If you guys loved my banana bread, this is one of my second favorites of my grandmother's. So, and the banana bread is one of the top videos I have on my catalog. So I'll link a link to the banana bread in the description here on the video. It's just a must try. And there's 1,000 recipes for pumpkin bread. This is just the one that I gravitate to because it's so moist and so good. Okay, so to this, we're going to add a cup of pumpkin, and I'm using just organic pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling. I'm using actually just organic pumpkin, and I'm going to eyeball it here. You could do measurements, obviously, but I've made this so many years, I don't really need to do that. And I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of sour cream. This is one of the secret, or I think the best ingredients for, I need to open it, for breads, like banana bread, raisin bread, and stuff like that. This really makes your bread really moist. You could use 1/4 cup of buttermilk as well, but I would recommend the sour cream. And we're going to add it's always hard to read her handwriting, but I'm going to just do it by memory here. 2 eggs. Shouldn't be too hard. And I'm just using our chicken eggs from our chickens. And, you know, just using brown chicken eggs. Okay, we're going to get that mixed up. See how creamy that it looks just so yummy. Okay, and now we're going to add our flour, because our baking powders had time to activate. It's already in here. It's really what's making this really puff up. And we're going to need 1 1/4 cup, or excuse me, 1 1/4 cup of, or 1/4 cup of flour. I'm using just AP all-purpose flour. So I'm going to add the 1. And get my 4th here. Okay, I'm going to start off slow because I don't want the flour to, you know, puff all out. Okay, this is ready to go. So what we need to do is get our loaf pan. I just spray mine, but you could flour and oil it, whatever normal way you like to do it. I had read some of the comments on my banana bread that the crust was too crispy, which I don't think so, but to avoid that, you can just spray your loaf pans. If you grease them and flour them, it tends to make the crust a little bit more crispy, but whatever way you choose, you choose to do that. So let me get my loaf pan out. I wanted to tell you, you can add walnuts to this, some black walnuts, or raisins, and this would really become a hearty bread. If you like this more dense, if you like your pumpkin bread more dense, you can add 1/4 cup of quick oats, and that's really going to give this heartiness. Now, this is the blue ribbon version of the recipe. Obviously, over the many years that my grandmother used it, she changed it along the way. She made it, you know, she made it taste a little differently, but pumpkin was always the base. And I have all of her footnotes to that, and I won't bore you with it. But really what's going to keep this moist is the sour cream and the butter. And it's something you want to keep in the refrigerator for sure if you're storing it airtight container. So let me get the loaf. Got it in the loaf pan. I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the top, so use a big loaf pan, the bigger ones. This is an Al-Anon one. I like them because they're made with copper. But alright, we're going to bake this for at least 1 hour. I'm putting this in a convection oven, and I'm going to check it around 45 minutes with a knife or a toothpick to make sure it comes out clean. If it doesn't, I'll extend the time. So we'll bring you back when this is out of the oven and ready to slice. Alright, our bread is out of the oven and it's perfectly done. This isn't, the camera looks like it's showing it burned, but it's really not. It's just dark brown from the copper, which always happens in this pan. So we're going to flip it over. And beautiful blue ribbon pumpkin bread. Just delicious. I hope you'll try this recipe, and you can also visit the link below to my banana bread recipe if you've not already made that. If you have made the banana bread, you're gonna really want to try this recipe right here. This is delish. Would be much better with black walnuts, but my husband has a nut allergy and I can't use black walnuts, but it would certainly be just delicious with that. Needs no glaze, no nothing. Fresh with a great glass of tea or a cup of coffee. I say this is outstanding blue ribbon pumpkin bread. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a blessed day and find somebody to bless.